What's going on, guys? For Complex, it's 360 with Speedy Morman. I'm him, and we got a legend in the building today, man, as he sips tea with the pinky out. Tip is in the building. Tip, what's up, man? How are you?
What's happening? Man, I can't call it, man.
This is how we have to do things these days, you know what I'm saying? We're living in crazy times right now, but happy to have you.
Where you at? You in New York?
Yeah, man.
New York? LA?
No, we're in New York.
Well, y'all open, you know what I'm saying? We can shoot up there if we need to do it face-to-face.
We would. I would have loved to have you on this beautiful set.
I'd rather not. I'd rather do it like this because we're like 100% wide open in Atlanta. And we're able to, I guess, handle our COVID concerns responsibly while enjoying lemon pepper wings in the club, you know?
Right. And as we saw you, so we saw the album release party the other day for the album that just dropped. It looked crazy. It looked like maybe a year ago how things used to be. What was the vibe like there? Did you feel nervous at all when you're going into an event like that?
No, not at all. I've taken 13 COVID tests. They've all come back negative.
13.
All of them.
You know why I believe you? Because your producer came on right before you came here and said, Tip is taking one right now.
Right now, absolutely. I just took one. I get the results back in 2 hours. So it's not like, you know, I'm just careless about, you know, my concerns for the virus. I just refuse to live in fear. You know what I mean? I'd rather prepare. And when I say prepare, some people feel like that's a mask. I myself have a perspective that I'd rather boost my immune system to defend me against COVID should I come in contact with it, rather than wear a mask and hide in fear of coming in contact with it. Guess what? So out of 13 COVID tests, right, me and my wife, we pretty much take them at the same time every time we take them. And they also test us for antibodies, right? The antibody test, it tells you if you have COVID now, and it also tells you, if the antibodies tell you that you've had it, develop antibodies to fend it off, and so on and so forth. Okay, so say about test number 9. She had a negative test, I had a negative test. However, she had antibodies.
Oh.
Which says that sometime between the test before that and this test, she caught the virus, fought it off, and did not give it to me.
Wow.
So how could such a thing be so? Masked to walk past each other on the streets every day. So that's my experience. That's my personal experience. That's why I have the perspective that I have. If I can be as close as I've been to my wife, she had it, developed antibodies and fought it off, and I still didn't catch it, I think I'll be okay in the club.
Fair enough. You also have a little system. You say tea 3 times a day keeps the COVID away?
So I've researched and I found that COVID starts in the throat. It starts in the throat as a scratchy throat, as a sore throat. Before it makes its way, it grows and travels to the lungs. If you catch it while it's still in the throat and you drink warm liquid, the warm liquid wash it down to the stomach where the stomach acid then kill it.
See, I'm no scientist, but it sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I felt. So let's say that day, right? That day of my album release party, if I had to come in contact with COVID that evening and it began to develop in my throat, the next morning I will have drank some tea, like so, and let my stomach acid do the rest. You know what I'm saying? So that's my method. That's what I use. That's what I do. Not saying that it would work for you the way it has worked for me, but I have 13 negative tests to speak of, and I've been everywhere. Everywhere, in the gym, in the club. I've been in marches and rallies. I've been on planes. I've been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that people should be careless. If you feel concerned, if you have pre-existing conditions, because that's what I think people are dying from. They're not necessarily dying from the virus.
So Tip, let's talk music for a second. The album, L.I.B.R.A.
Sure.
The legend is back, running Atlanta. Why now, Tip? Why in this moment?
I was berated with requests. You know, when people come into the studio and I play records, that I've accumulated over a period of time after just coming in and recording day in, day out. People urge me like, yo, when is this coming out? Yo, when you gonna release it? Never had any plans, any intention. And then I must say, the response of me and 50's proposed verses, and I saw that there was an entire generation of people who just didn't know who the fuck I was or what the fuck I do. So it urged me to put a collection of records together and just package it and present it.
To you, a classic album is an album that you can listen to front to back. And you've kind of also broken this album down into chapters, right? Like there's different kind of vibes throughout the project. I'm wondering if you think, looking back on this album a few years from now, that this will be one of those classic albums.
I've heard instant classic. A lot of people, all I know is everyone who likes it enjoys it, and that's really that was my only definitive intention, just to make sure that everyone who, every time someone was exposed to it, that they enjoyed it. I'm proud of it. I feel like it's my best work. You know what I mean? I think it's my best album yet. And it's also my favorite.
If not for the song that features your son, I thought you were going to say that your favorite record on the album was We Did It Big. Just because that was such an honest and obviously a
that
tribute.
was the most painful.
Right.
It was the most painful. It was definitely the most painful to make.
What was the process like? Obviously, that's you reminiscing about times that you had with your man. You know what I'm saying? With one of your dogs.
Well, both of them, two of my best friends.
Yeah, two.
Of my oldest living best friends that I like, my longest living, I should say, best friends. I mean, yeah, I ain't really sensitive or nothing, but I feel things. I shed a tear too while making that particular song. That would be the only one. But when I was finally done with it, it made me smile.
Yeah, I
laughed.
I think it made a lot of people smile, but it also made a lot of people laugh for another reason. There's a line on there. I think you're talking to Cap, or reminiscing with times with Cap, and you say he accidentally pissed on Drake. And that was the line that kind of people ran with on the internet. And then they said that, Drake was upset about it and he unfollowed you on Instagram and all of that. What was it like kind of watching this whole thing unfold as if that was the main part of the song?
I mean, I didn't really... Okay, so I know I didn't have any ill intent and any malicious intent going into it. I know that, Drake and I ain't never had no issues. I don't have no real motives. You did to weaponize an accidental incident against him. You know what I mean? And I hope, thought or think that, he's intelligent enough and aware enough to understand that, to not, what I'm saying? For one, you gotta think about who's actually stirring this pot. You know what I mean? You got blog sites, you got the tabloids, and just people who, they ain't really got no skin in the game, man. They just really want to see some dust kick up for their entertainment, and they sensationalize things and they instigate things, and, and if you allow your emotions to be controlled by that, and you're gonna find yourself in a lot of shit, like I have in my career. but I mean, at the end of the day, if I know I ain't really mean no harm, I can't really I can't consume myself with the what ifs of, what if someone's upset, or I can't really worry about that. I'm gonna have to let the universe deal with it.
Obviously, you spoke to it. People do like to instigate a lot, but I think the last thing that we as hip hop fans are looking for is yet another rap beef. Is there, and I don't think it's trending in the direction of that, but is there a chance that, you reach out to Drake or Drake reaches out to you just to nip this in the bud before it even turns into something?
I mean, it ain't no big deal to me. I've never refused a call from Cuz. If he ever needs to talk to me about anything, my line has always been open. I don't feel necessarily a need to hunt him down and interrupt his day to ask him why he unfollowed me. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's not really grown man business. Like, on some real shit, if it's an issue and, you know, someone feels a certain kind of way, if this has a disagreement, and we have, you know, some form of an interaction, my number is the same. I mean, if you want to call me, I can tell you straight up to your face. You know what I mean? I ain't mean it like that. It was more about me and the highlights of my partner life. You just happen to have been involved in one of the wildest moments that I've ever experienced. And so I'm not going to consider how, you know, I can't consider Drake more than I consider my partner. You know what I mean? So really, it's just really about me kind of like going over the moments that we had, that we shared. And there ain't really no ill intent, bro. And so after that, I think, you know, after hearing that, because I've said it in other interviews, like, you know, and then, you know, just like I said about tabloids and blogs, of course, people like, well, no, so you mean that? And they want to elaborate and get into it. I'm like, nah, we ain't finna do that. We ain't finna do that. That ain't really what I came. That ain't what I said it for. This is about Cap and understanding how much of a loose cannon and undeniable, spontaneous fucking combustion of what the fuck he has been in my life.
We were just talking about Kill the King, and you know, we're posing that question, you know, who will or who can kill the king? It doesn't seem like you think that person is Busta Rhymes. Because, you know, a lot of people wanted to see, you know, at first you and Jeezy go at it in the verses, and then Busta said, you know, I will bust T.I. ass, you know what I'm saying, get in the ring with me, and you know what I'm saying, then you went out there and said, look, man, I don't want this to be like a Pop Warner football situation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's, you know, I was just, unfortunately, about a decade and a half late for this battle. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You're never gonna see a fight sanction where you have a fighter that's 225 pounds fighting someone that's 145 pounds. And not to say that he isn't worthy, or not to say that he isn't accomplished or he isn't on a level. I'm saying I don't have the years in the game that this man has. So I don't understand why he would not go to one of his, you know, contemporaries.
Right.
Yeah, why not go to, that's just like me going and trying to call out Thug. Hey, Thug, gonna do a versus me and you. That just ain't fair. You know what I mean? It just isn't fair. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. I have huge amounts of respect for Busta. And I guess Busta actually motivated my dear brother Jeezy step on out in the street. He jumped off the porch and in the street, cars flying out there.
And that's the one that a lot of people seem like they want to see. Tip versus Jeezy, and you said, quote, snowmen are seasonal, but kings are forever.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Tip? What does that mean?
I think it's self-explanatory. I am not, you know, susceptible to extreme temperatures. Like I don't melt. Snowmen melt. You know what I mean? Snowmen melt. I produce heat, and snowmen melt. So
talk to him.
You do the math on that.
Talk to him.
I will remind you that the battle is not given to the strong, nor is the race to the swift, but the one who may endure until the end. So I'm going to remain diligent and vigilant, and we're going to go ahead and celebrate trap music the right way.
I want to talk about a big moment in hip hop, one of the most important moments in hip hop, in my opinion, and that's Swagga Like Us. When you think back to a record like that, man, it really was like a cultural moment that kind of transcended just our culture. I think back to, you know, the Grammy performance, M.I.A. performing Pregnant. Then here come, you know, the four of you guys donning suits. You know what I'm saying? It was a real moment Kind of just talk to me about that moment and what you felt like that was and meant for the culture.
It was incredible, and I could kind of feel like we were making history. It just felt like a moment in time. You know, sometimes you kind of find yourself in the middle of moments, and you just kind of have to stop and look around and be like, this is historical. This is going to be remembered 20, 30 years from now. And that's how I felt about it.
And you know, just for the sake of the culture, for the fun of this, I wonder where you feel like your verse ranked on that record.
Again, I'm going to tell you, I don't like nobody better than me. I ain't never met nobody that I like better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to always say me. But it's not for me to decide. You know what I mean? That's to leave up to the fans. I think that we create the music so y'all can give your opinion.
Of course, but Tip, people care about your opinion. That's why you got a show. You know what I'm saying? That's why people are asking you the questions.
Me, sir. Me again. Anybody. But those other guys are, you know what I'm saying, they're magnificent in their art. So.
Hold on, let's talk through it then. If you had the best verse, who do you think you're followed by on that record?
Oh man, so you want me to rank the verses? Could we at least play the song again so I could get a fresh listen?
We're not going to be able to use the record in the album, but I can play the song, we can hear it vibe for a second, and then you can rank them if you want to do that.
Okay, cool, let's hear the song.
I was bumping this last night, man, and that's why, bro, it was really a moment. Okay, Tip, we
slid on that motherfucker like a church shoe.
Like a church shoe.
Slid like a church shoe on that motherfucker. You hear me?
Tip, I ain't gonna lie, you did walk on that. You did walk on that. So we've listened to all 4 verses. Let's go through this together. We know what your number 1 is. We putting you up top.
What I would do, just like the appearance. So me, Wayne, Jay, then Kanye.
Okay, one more time because you cut out a little bit. Say that one more time.
If you just the order, the synchronization, if you reverse it, the order in which we appear, like you just played it, reverse it, and that's my order. Me, then Wayne, then Jay, then Ye.
Then Ye. Okay, so Tip number 1, Wayne number 2, Hove number 3, and then Kanye coming in at number 4. Okay, this will be fun. I want to put this out into the world and ask people what they think, and let's see some other people rank it. I think that'll be fun.
Sure. Make sure they listen to the record first, because you know you asking most of the people who's gonna respond to it is gonna be people who ain't even probably heard the record
in 5 years or more. You know what I'm saying?
Or probably just ain't heard the record. They just gonna comment based on how much they like the people who are on the list.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So make sure that they listen to the record first.
So let's set the rules then. The rule is this: you have to listen to the song start to back before you can write or type anything.
There you go.
And then you rank the 4. All right, I like that. Yeah. Tip, we'll make sure we get over a few examples, a few answers of what people think, and we'll get it over to you.
I love to hear it. I need some more shit to disregard. Go ahead.
Oh man, I got like 3-4 more questions for you, but I want to get your input.
Take your time.
Oh, I thought you was. I don't know how busy you is, Tip. I'll be here all day.
Hey man, you know what? I got hella shit to do, but you know, for you, go right ahead. I'll go until I get up and walk out.
Tip, I appreciate that, man. You've been in a successful relationship that a lot of people look up to for quite some time. It seems like a lot of the younger generation has different priorities in life. And one of the conversations that's happening on Twitter right now is, you know, that the man needs to pay the bills. Speedy was on Instagram saying that if he's not getting you a Birkin and if he's not paying your bills, then send him back to the streets. Tip, is this the building block? Is this the foundation of a strong, long-lasting relationship, or is it not?
I can't speak on nobody else's relationship besides mine. You dig what I'm saying? I think that's the main thing. Everybody got to understand. I can't tell you what's going to work for you. If I told you the way I did it and you tried to do it yourself, it might not be the recipe for you. It might not be your GPS. I can only tell you about me. And me, myself personally, I think, man, buying things that are appreciating assets, to me, is, or buying just as many things that are appreciating assets. It's just that, so girls may love to show off the bags and the shoes and even the cars and shit like that. But they need to also have deeds to houses. You know what I'm saying? They need to have property and understand stocks and bonds and trust. Yes, I give my old lady, I gift her with diamonds and cars, but she also has Amazon stock. You know what I'm saying? We also have an illustrious real estate portfolio. So it ain't just about the Birkin bag. If we doing the Birkin bag, that's just something we doing for fun. You know what I mean? We not just out here, gallivanting around the globe, spending all our hard-earned money on depreciating liability. That just ain't the way. And any man who show you that way he's been ill-advised, and that's the only reason he's misleading you. Not on purpose. If he knew better, he'd do better. And I mean, I'm not saying that about Quavo, because I think if anything, he has amassed the kind of wealth that even if he is in that frame of mind right now, all that has to happen is someone to enlighten him and let him know, hey, the same 20 grand you put right there on that Birkin, you just put it in Tesla and leave it, let it sit. By the time she would have gotten sick and tired of this Birkin, by the time that this Birkin would have not even been worn or brought out the closet, this Tesla stock would have tripled. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. I can't tell nobody else how to do it. I think if you got a man that's willing to buy you anything and he loves you, then that's a plus. What he's buying you is probably going to be based on what you ask for. And if you ask for a Birkin and he say, nah, baby, what I need to do is get you about 10 acres. I need to get you 10 acres somewhere so we can start, cultivating our land and building our agriculture. And if you aren't receptive to that, I hope he find him a woman that's worth his time. You dig? I really do. Because a lot of men could be out there, and women too, a lot of men could be out there, trying to turn their women on to an elevated level of consciousness when it comes to financial literacy. And they may not be receptive because they want to shine on Instagram and post pictures and, do videos and show off in front of their girlfriends and their sorority sisters and so on and so forth. And that's cool. You need to do a little bit of that too, but that ain't really like the goal is to still have it 20 years later.
Amen. Some wise words from Tip. It makes everything you say feel so much more potent every time you take a sip of the tea with the pinky up, dog.
Hey, man. You wow.
I feel like over the course of your illustrious career, your decades in, there have been times where you've been counted out and dropped from labels. There have been times you made smash hits and some of the biggest records that kind of powered our culture. We've seen you lose people close to you. We've seen you dodge death yourself. We've seen so much from you. Why do you think you were kind of able to prevail through all of those things?
I can't give any credit to myself. You know what I'm saying? I think all of that glory goes to the Creator. You know what I'm saying? If it's not for the Creator, for the God that I was made in the image of, and you as well, if not for God being so graceful and patient and just being so good to me and my family, I wouldn't have made it past the first thing that you talked about. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get here because I'm, toughest, the smartest, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, I have a purpose on my life. There's something that God intends for me to do, and I'm not going to leave here until I do it. So I think that is the reason why I've been able to, to just make it all the way here and have such longevity and be as resilient as I have and overcome the kind of odds that I've overcame. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just a vessel. You dig what I'm saying? I'm the conduit, the instrument, if you will. The Lord is pulling the strings. I'm just bullshit.
I guess no. That's real though. That's real. I guess then my last thing is you said, you know, I do believe the same. I do think that we're all here for a purpose, a greater good. I like to believe that. What moment would you say makes you the most proud? As wifey comes into the shop. What's up, Tiny? How are you?
He said, "What's up?" She can't hear you.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, baby, I can't be your pogo stick right now. I got stuff I'm doing.
No. I want you to be her pogo stick, dog. If we got a rap, let me know.
In it. No, man. He said, I want you to be her pogo stick. He's a little too enthusiastic about this. I'm just pushing. Nah, we about to go catch a flight, man.
That's real and a perfect way to end this tip. The album L.I.B.R.A is out now. I appreciate you taking the time, dog.
Man, appreciate you, bro.
Safe travels wherever you're going, and keep ducking COVID, bro. The tea, I'm about to start drinking that, man. I'm about to start.
Right on, man. Love and respect, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the time, the attention, and the consideration.
Always. Love, bro.